I'm working at Amazon now. When I build something at Amazon, it's going to be used by real businesses. It's going to have real money impact.
Curiosity will drive you to understand how things are working in behind. And that practice will help you throughout your career.
If you try 100 things, you could get lucky at one. But if you only try 2 things, then you won't get lucky at anything, right?
Maybe don't jump into starting or learning 2-3 programming languages altogether. Start with one.
Generally at companies, things take time, right? Because you have to go through all these processes for a product to be very resilient.
We have a panel discussion that is going to be happening now. And for this discussion, we have two esteemed guests from the industry. So first, it is Shivani and also Shovik. So first of all, let me thank you so much for making time and coming here. So I know it's a pretty busy week. Considering the 4-day holiday. So all the team members will be generally tied up with closure on the projects, and but still you made it to the event so that you can share some of your expertise and also give some tips to the students. So first of all, a huge round of applause for both of them for making time and taking talking to you. Okay. So yeah, so welcome to you both first. Okay. So both Shivani and Shovik are more closer to you in terms of age. So I hope you will be able to resonate to what they are saying. So what we can do is let's keep these young minds while talking on any subject. And also, I keep referring to this example from last 2 days, but I was totally blown away when I heard this sentence from someone that 8 years back, most of them are 8 years old. Okay. So they are how young they are. Okay. So they are fresh minds. All of them are very eager to understand how things work at industry. And the reason why we are conducting this kind of sessions instead of formally starting the classrooms is before they even start their learning, we want them to set a benchmark for them, like where they can be in 4 years. Okay. And what is the mindset that they need to have to reach there. Okay. That's the reason we are conducting this. So without any further delay, let's start off with the session. So first of all, we'll do this in 3 formats. Okay. So first, I will ask questions to each of them, and they will answer. Second, we will ask questions from the pool of questions that you have submitted. Okay, that will be part 2, and part 3 will be audience questions. Okay. So there will be some people walking around who will give you the mics after the second part. This sounds good? Okay, great. See how they proactive they are, I think. Great. So yeah, Shivani, I think we'll start with you. So if you can briefly, you have a great diversified career. Okay, so I know you personally, so I know how much hard work you kept in order to transition yourself from a non-tech background to a great position in what you are doing right now. So, but I want you to talk in your own words and explain briefly about your career. Yeah.
First of all, good morning, everyone. It's
Close.
hello. Is it audible now?
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, good morning, everyone. It's a great morning to see a lot of exciting faces. It's inspiring to be here too. So thank you all. Before I start, to talk about my experience, I did BTech from IIT Madras, but I joined civil engineering. At the time, I didn't know, computer science is such a big deal or how the world is going to be. For my rank, I just wanted to join IIT Madras and took whatever branch that I got. Right after I got in, after the first year, I realized that I don't like civil engineering. Like, what do I do now? I don't want to waste my time here. What do I do now? And at that time, all I knew was I love mathematics. So I realized from a lot of mentorship from seniors, which helped a lot, that computer science would be a good fit for me, something that I would really enjoy doing, something that I would excel at, and something which also has a lot of demand in the market because all of them has to match. So in college itself, after I realized that, I pursued whatever opportunities I could get in college, like, auditing courses, a course happening in computer science department, auditing courses, or doing whatever projects that I can with professors or with peers, and landing internships. They may not be like the best companies, but some companies which would give some exposure to me in computer science. So I pursued whatever I could with the resources that I had. At the time, I was not at all happy, or like I was insecure about my abilities, because I was like, I would never match to someone from computer science, or I'm not doing enough. I thought like that, but definitely my efforts paid off. And now, yeah, I'm working at Amazon. Like, I've built a tech career, strong tech career, and I'm working at Amazon. So, yeah, so that's where I wanted to start. Should I? Right.
Great. I think thanks for the introduction. So I am not sure how many of them grasped the part of joining the non-tech branch and being able to create a career in Amazon. And I'm sure it will sound simple when we are talking about in a sentence, but it takes a lot of hard work and it takes a lot of proactive initiatives to build yourself such a career. So first of all, kudos to you for that. And yeah. And also, Shavik, so can we also understand a brief about you, like what,
Yeah, sure.
how you were in college, and also can you please talk about your career journey?
Okay. So good morning, everyone. I hope all of you can hear me. Okay. So I did my BTech in computer science. I did it from Kalyani Government Engineering College. So it's a state government college. So I got in through WBJ, which was a joint entrance examination in West Bengal, and I wasn't able to crack IIT. So I went there. So basically, I joined as a computer science student, and from the beginning only, I was very clear in my mind that, okay, this is what I want to do. And the reason for that is maybe because I like solving problems, and don't see computer science as a kind of a subject or something. It's a tool that helps me solving problems. So that's how I started my journey in computer science in BTech. And after 4 years, I from the campus recruitment only, I got a job in one of the companies in Kolkata. So I joined Kriti Technologies Private Limited. It was a company in Kolkata. There I learned a lot of new technologies. I got more interested into the industry, how industry works. I got to learn how, whenever a project comes in, how the whole project process works. Like whenever we, in college, right, whenever, or in school as well, when we hear the word project, it's like just a small goal or a task that, okay, this is what we need to complete. It's kind of an assignment. But when you jump into the industry part, it's not that. It's a lot more deep dive that goes in there. So there I learned a lot of things. I had a lot of responsibilities there, which helped me grow a lot. Then I moved to another company in Bangalore called Soroco India. And there I worked for 2 years. It was a startup. And there I got to work with a lot of people, a lot of smart people, where I learned a lot. And then I prepared myself that, okay, this is something, some kind of a transition that I need, that I started from small projects, then moved into a startup, saw the whole growth, like how the whole project works or how the whole product development is done, and then decided that, okay, now maybe it's right time for me to see how projects or kind of products work at a large scale. And that's the time when I decided that, okay, I need to prepare myself, and then got into Microsoft. And here I have been working for almost 3 years now. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Shavik, for that. And also, a general curious question that I get whenever I talk to students is, joined at Microsoft or any other company, the first job that you have been to. So is it the same feeling, or what is the transformation that you had from day one of college to day one of joining a company?
That's an interesting question. First of all, college projects, even the projects that you do at college, it's very different what happens in professional life. Because when you build something, let's say I'm working at Amazon now, when I build something at Amazon, it's going to be used by real businesses. It's going to have real money impact. Let's say if there is a bug, it's going to have millions of money lost. I mean, there is going to be real impact for what I'm writing. So first of all, there would be, I would say, in professional life, there are many more processes before something goes live. In the sense that, let's say, if it's a college project, if I write some code, I can submit it tomorrow and then I'm done. Done the project, written the code, submitted it, done. But in professional life, first, before even choosing that project, you would have to first design the system, present to 20 other engineers on how you would design it like this, why this is the best way to go about it, how designing it like this would prevent bugs or make it a much more resilient system. First, there would be discussions around that. You uh, once you make everyone agree to what you're going to build, then you start building. After you build also, there will be rounds of testing that would happen before it goes into production. When I mean production, it means being used by actual users for whom this software is intended. So the mindset itself is very different from college to professional life. And generally at companies, things take time, right? Because you have to go through all these processes for a product to be very resilient. So yeah, I would say that's the main difference between, doing a college project or working at a company.
So one part is mindset. Okay, I think how many of you have seen the recent CrowdStrike incident that happened for Microsoft-based systems? So many of the flights got delayed, many of the systems were down, right? So that's the reason why companies have rigorous processes in place. That's the reason why there will be a rigorous testing, as well as a lot of reviews on architecture, design, code reviews will happen before something even goes to production. So that's what I think Shivani is conveying. And while in college, the scope of the project will be very low. So it will only depend on you. And even if something goes wrong, the impact would be very minimal. So the magnanimity of any project or the magnanimity of things that you do is completely different compared to college versus a company. So the main shift you have to do should be on mindset.
Mindset. Yeah. So it should be on mindset. So I always say this, that especially in professional life, being diligent, hard work, being disciplined, these things matter a lot more than raw talent. Like especially in professional life, right? To excel in professional life, you need to be hardworking, diligent about what you're doing, and be disciplined. That matters the most than anything else.
And there are some things that college life helps you build, right?
Yeah, definitely. These are the mindset that you can develop in college. One more thing that I would like to highlight here. Uh, there are some things that you can do in college which would help you a lot in professional life. Because first, I would want to highlight that whenever you go to YouTube and look for how to work at Amazon, they would only talk about the interview processes. But I would say that interview processes are part number one. They would just get you into the company. Part two, which is even more important, is how you can get successful at the company. Like after you go into the company, you need to have the right mindset to actually be successful and form a career, right? I'm going to talk about part two now. Uh, because now all of you are starting college, right? Form good peer groups, like with your friends, with your batchmates, whatever you're working on. Put it in a doc, make a presentation or something, and show it to your peers, show it to your friends, and ask them to critique it. I mean, ask them to give feedback on it. Why not this? Why not this? What are the multiple options? And get used to discussing any kind of design that you come up with or anything that you do with your friends, and be open to feedback. Like the critical thinking is what makes you excel at professional companies.
Great. I think college is when you get the actual raw feedback. So if you want to receive critical feedback and improve upon it, I think your friends are the best people to go for. And Shavik, do you want to add anything to that?
Actually, my college life was very different than my office, like kind of a career. So in college life, I think I had a lot of fun, and that was my primary goal during my college time. But alongside that, I think two things that was very important for me One was curiosity, like how things are working. Okay. So if I see something that, okay, suppose this camera is working or some table fan is there or some fan is rotating or something. So build that curiosity within you. Because if you're going into any kind of science background, right, no matter what it is, curiosity will drive you to understand how things are working in behind. And that practice will help you throughout your career. No matter if you suppose in your future after graduating, you choose that, okay, I'm not going to work for any MNC or for any company. Maybe I want to deep dive into research or some other places. Okay. So curiosity is one thing. And second thing is being vocal about it. As ma'am already mentioned, right, that discussions with friends, those things are important. So suppose something is in your mind and you don't know whether you are right or wrong, or suppose you are thinking you're right, but you only have your own perspective. So when you talk with 5, 10 other people, you're vocal about those things, you get to know the perspective of others, you then brainstorm around that whole idea. So these two things actually drove throughout my whole college life. And
To just break it down, can you take an example that you can think of?
okay, so I will say like when I was in college, I did not had any kind of internship or any kind of till third year, I did not had any kind of internship or any kind of thing. And then at that point, I thought that, okay, maybe I was not able to go into IIT or some great university. Maybe at least I can get my internship from there. Okay. So at that point, it took kind of thought came in that how can I apply to those things? And I'm talking about the period around 2015. So during that period, I think not a lot of IITs or NITs were offering internships. There were some summer programs going on. So, and that was already over.
And is it common for students who are in your college to apply for
No,
this?
it wasn't common.
Like that is thinking big.
Yeah, that is the thinking behind it. Like it wasn't common because I was always keen into getting education from a very great college or from great professors, something like that. So at that point, I thought that, okay, at least to enhance that, I can get an internship from IITs. So what I did was I thought that, okay, if I cannot go there from the beginning, at least I can reach out to them. So I went into every website of IIT and NITs. From computer science department, I collected all the email IDs, built a resume of myself, and created a whole kind of an email, and mailed around 200 to 300 professors. And actually, I got 5 responses from there. Then based on that, I went into IIT Guwahati for my internship. And that turned out that, okay, if you have that curiosity, right? Okay, I have a problem. I need to solve it. There is always a way to solve it. You just need to think that, okay, this is my problem. This is the state where I am. And this is what I can do my best. Do it. I think it will at least you will get 10% return or 100% return or 1% return. But at least that is better than whatever state you are in. Okay. So I think that was one of the great experience for
I think
me.
that's a great example, I would say.
Yeah.
So curiosity will lead you to like look for options.
Correct.
And whenever you are thinking big, you will aim for something bigger. So you were not aiming for doing an internship in some other college, but rather IIT, which is not common. And you went creative in finding a way to get yourself in.
Kind of. Yeah. And when I talk about curiosity, right, when I went there, I got a chance to work in a networking lab there. And there, first time I saw people were working on this translations. Today we see Chat GPT and everything, right? So at that point of time in early 2016, I got in, and they were working on, they were trying to convert Assamese language into English. And they were working on that. And I got a chance to actually talk to them, try to understand how things work. And when you talk to people, right, when you have that curiosity that how things are happening, you start talking to people. You start trying to understand that, okay, this person has done something, how this person has done it, you get a new perspective. So I think that's going to help you a lot. in throughout your career, no matter whatever path you choose. I think this is going to help you.
Shivani, you had an opportunity to work in both India and also in Europe. So my question is like, how did you find the difference working here and working in Europe? And like any less known interesting fact that you can share with the students about working here and also working at in Netherlands. Yeah, yeah.
So just for a little bit of context, for a couple of years I worked in Netherlands. Uh, yeah, the fun fact is in Netherlands, even the CEO of your company or the director would come to office by train.
By
By train, by the
by
metro.
train. Okay, by metro.
Yeah, everyone uses public transport.
Okay.
It's amazing there. Yeah, so I would say that's a fun fact.
Less traffic on road. Yeah.
It's less traffic on road. Uh, the culture wise, I would say it's really different. Uh, the main difference is because of how they live, like their economic condition. Yeah, I don't think that would be too useful for you guys. Something that I got reminded of when Sauvik was sharing his experience is that there's a concept called luck surface area. Okay, so you always need to try to increase your luck surface area. I'll explain what I mean by that. When we look at someone who has achieved something, it's easy to think that that person got lucky, right? We also want to get lucky. All of you want to get lucky. So increase the number of chances where you could get lucky at. Like if you try 100 things, you could get lucky at one. But if you only try 2 things, then you won't get lucky at anything, right? So it's increasing the luck surface area. Even when I was making the shift to Amazon, I applied to a lot of companies. I applied to a lot of companies which I knew I wouldn't have a shot at. Like, I applied to roles that I knew I wouldn't have a shot at. But at least I wanted to give it a try to know there's nothing that I'm losing. I'm only gaining by understanding the processes. If I get lucky, I might get into that. So it's always important to improve your luck surface area. You can do that by putting yourself out there, applying to just getting yourself more opportunities. Once you have opportunities, then you can turn them into something that would be useful to you. But you need to increase the number of opportunities that you're going to get. That's something that I would recommend to everyone in college. Yeah.
And
What do
I
you
think that's an engineer's way of talking about luck. So it's an interesting way. So increase your luck service area. As I believe, I hope there's an equation also behind it. So, can we also have Slido questions coming up? So we have gathered some of the questions from students. Okay, so we'll display it here and we will pick the most interesting question. Okay. Okay, looks like the most popular question is balancing. We'll continue the poll. Okay, keep it here, keep the questions here. Okay, most popular question is like balancing personal life and career. Okay, so
You'll be surprised.
yeah.
Are you guys really concerned about balancing personal life? You're just starting your college.
Yeah, probably I think it looked like an interesting aspect to understand before they go. But I think Shivani is a great example of that. And recently she had a baby, so congratulations on that. Yeah. So, do you want to share any insights on how you can how you balance your personal and professional life? Yeah.
Honestly, initially when I started my career, I went about it like there is nothing else in my life because I didn't know anything else. So that's how it started. But after a couple of years, you would realize that there are other things in life that are important as well. And that's when, because career is also long, right? Like you need to sustain for that long. You guys are just in college, so you wouldn't think about that. But so balancing personal life and career, I think it's important to like what you're doing. So whatever you're doing, if you like what you're doing, you would enjoy. Yeah, I think that's one of the
Mantra.
mantra to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you enjoy, the balance will automatically pitch in.
Yeah, I mean, if you enjoy, then you would have more confidence. Then you would do a good job at it. Then you're confident to, let's say, if it's your manager who is stopping you, then you can discuss with your manager that these are my boundaries. Yeah,
Okay.
like it's
Great.
everyone does it. So you guys don't have to worry about it now.
So I will ask the next popular question for you. I think this is the top one. So should we master one technology or learn many technologies? So there's a common myth, right? So the many programming languages you learn, the more effective software engineer you are. Do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Maybe my personal experience and my personal take on this might be a bit different from others. I will suggest for students that who are going just into starting their careers, right? Maybe don't jump into starting or learning 2, 3 programming languages altogether. Start with one. Fix that programming language as your base language and start solving problems using it. I think what happens is when you start mastering multiple languages, right? There will be a time when one of the language will get obsolete after a certain point of time. So if you see earlier in back days, I don't know you guys have heard about it or not. There were programming languages called COBOL, Fortran, and all those things. And those are still
I'm sure
used.
they might have not.
Yeah, so these are very old programming languages. Okay. And then C came in. So suppose in today's date, you learn 5 programming languages altogether. And after a certain point of time, you have given your whole time in understanding those programming languages. And every programming language has a very different dynamics of it. So you are spending most of the time, instead of understanding or solving problems, you are just trying to understand one particular framework or one particular programming language. So maybe when you start your career, you might not use all 5 of it. You will be using one. But suppose you mastered one particular programming language, start solving problems using it, trying to understand what are the kind of pros and cons of that programming language. Then later in your life, when you suppose switch domains and everything, because in my career, I have worked in more than 7 or 8 programming languages so far. So it becomes very easy to switch into a different programming language. Once you have an understanding, fundamentals are already built there. Because in most of the programming languages, fundamentals are pretty same. So I will suggest you that don't fall into that trap that, okay, learn a lot of languages. Python is in demand, Java is in demand, C is in demand. College is asking us to learn C, C++ and everything. Definitely you should give it a try. That, okay, just to understand how working in different programming language works, but don't make it your whole career that your career is like learning 5 programming languages or 10 programming languages. That shouldn't be it.